Hello, mindful friends. Today I'm going to be answering a question that I got in my Mindfully Cultivating Joy class about what do we do when we feel guilty being happy when others are suffering or struggling, and should we feel like we have the right to be happy when there is so much suffering going on in the world? And the answer is absolutely yes. We do have the right to be happy, and we certainly should continue cultivating our own happiness, while at the same time we can remain compassionate to others. But I don't believe that compassion translates to us taking a deep dive into the suffering of others and staying there ourselves. I don't believe that that is helpful to anybody or the global well-being. I believe that happiness and well-being grows and cultivates, even within one person, and then spreads into the world. And so the more each of us can do to cultivate happy lifestyles, to shift things in our own worlds, to find contentment, to find peace, that is us serving the global well-being and happiness. Because when we do that, it affects the people around us, that we're being kinder to them. We're living lifestyles that probably support them and ourselves better, support our communities better. And then that continues to grow outward. And the more that each of us is able to take care of our own space and our own well-being, it becomes easier and easier for globally that well-being to grow and be present for more people. And I think that the opposite is also true, that the kind of suffering and agony can grow if we aren't taking care of our own spaces and what's going on for us. And then we, it's like a tractor beam, it pulls other people in. And if we people who are suffering expect others to kind of jump on board and be a part of that, it just grows and spreads outwards. That we aren't taking care of ourselves. We're looking at the doom and gloom. We're telling stories of the doom and gloom. We're blaming other people. And we're not, instead of doing our work to find healing, we are simply kind of growing the negativity within us and around us. And so looking at, instead of feeling guilty that you can hold your own happiness when there is suffering in the world, look at that as you doing your part. You are making that effort to generate happiness in the world. And that's a really powerful healing energy. If, of course, we are aligned with the mindful teachings of true happiness, which we have talked about in here before, and that these are not happiness based on the destruction of others, of attaining a whole lot more ourselves, being greedy, the kind of success and achievement based on the kind of destruction or downfall of other people, right? That's not going to be healthy, growing happiness, right? That in that case, there would be some guilt there, because your happiness literally is built upon the detriment of others or the suffering of others. So that is not true happiness. When we talk about true happiness, we talk about that internal well-being that knows that is grown on the person you're being, of being peaceful, being content, taking care of yourself, those around you, your planet, finding joy in the simple things, in gratitude, in appreciation. If we are putting our effort towards this kind of happiness, we do not need to ever feel guilty, because this kind of happiness is generating very positive healing energy within ourselves and for those around us. And that is us doing our work to support the greater good. It starts internally. And if we go out and say, well, I cannot create my happiness until the whole world is happy, or when there's not suffering in others around me, then nobody is going to lift themselves up. Nobody is going to heal. And us doing that work and taking care of our well-being, it's like we've talked about before, it's the oxygen mask for you before you go out into the world. So in my mind, it's almost an obligation of a mindful lifestyle, of someone who wants to take care of themselves and the planet. Take care of your mental well-being. Take care of your physical well-being. Find your sources of happiness and build them in your life, because that is what is going to then reverberate outwards and take care of the people around you. And then you will be more grounded and centered. And so when you show up, part of true happiness is in living purpose. It is in sharing that happiness with others, that well-being with others. So when you have done your work and created that within, part of continuing happiness is sharing that. And so that would be in how you make connection with others who may be suffering, but how you show up for them in very supportive ways, not in ways that take both of you down, or that neither of you is feeding the goodness in life, but in ways that says, I've created this internal stability. I have this overflowing cup of well-being, and I can be in your presence and support you in ways, not like shoving it in their face of being overly joyful in their presence, but being that peaceful, calm, content presence is the best kind of support to others in that time of struggle. And you having that internal grounding gives you the ability and the strength to show up well for others. So when you're feeling guilt around being happy, if there's suffering, struggling in the world, ask yourself, one, what is the type of happiness I'm feeling? If it is based on the detriment of others, maybe we need to re-examine. But if it's true happiness, am I taking care of myself in this? Am I taking care of the planet? And am I cultivating that kind of joy, acceptance, peace? And then how can my internal happiness and stability, grow in the world around me, bring positivity to the world around me? And then your guilt shouldn't be there anymore, because your internal happiness, the effort you're spending taking care of self, is now turning around and taking care of the world around you. If you enjoy these talks and would like to join us for a group session or individual coaching, you can find us at newleafmindfulness.com. My new book, Healing Mindfully, Finding Peace Through Pain, Illness, and Aging, is now published and available. I will have it for purchase in my studio in a couple of weeks, and it's already on the online platforms. Anywhere you buy your print or ebook content, you can find that book now. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I hope to see you all very soon.